All right, so we tried this last week, or our last episode, and it's then versus now. And so I was trying to think of like, it worked really well last week because we knew that Raul was from the hardcore scene, and he's about our age, more or less. He's a little bit. Is he younger than us?
He's younger than us.
Anyway, and so I was like, okay, so hardcore, something we all get on. So there's a couple questions to that. Well, for you, I was trying to think of like what does Renee have in common with us here, and one of the big ones was movies.
Ooh,
because you're a movie watcher. Mm-hmm. And so
I find the weirdest ones I can on Hulu.
You do.
I find some really bizarre.
Have
movies.
you watched Velocipaster?
No, I have not.
Have you watched Wolf Cop? Then you haven't found the weird yet.
You are going to have to really start making a list for me. Because I get some really weird ones going.
One of the... Okay, so I may have shared this, I don't know. But when we would travel, one of the greatest joys during touring was when we'd stay somewhere that had Netflix. That was like one of the greatest things ever. And so a lot of times, you know, if there'd be something that we could all agree on, like something just came out, like a new show, and we'd watch it. But then there'd be times when like we'd have conflict on like, well, I don't watch that.
Yeah.
So the one thing we could all default on, even myself, was then, all right, let's go look for something with sharks in it. And so we've seen everything. We've seen like Sharktopus. We've seen all the Sharknadoes.
Mecha Shark versus
yeah. Or we'll see, or it has to be something like ridiculous like that. Like like the what is it?
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster.
It's like this is how good the movie is. It won't spoil anything. I'm just gonna give you the first scene. It opens up. It opens up and basically like his parents die in a car explosion. So you see the car and then it explodes and he's like, no. But then it like literally on the screen says like, we couldn't afford the special effects. So just imagine like a car exploding and he's like screaming and there's no car exploding. It's that kind of movie.
I'm going to have to find it.
That sounds awesome.
It's pretty rad. I thoroughly enjoyed myself with that movie.
All right, so
it's taunting us.
Yeah, I saw that. It's right there.
I get the thing with the zapper. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
All right, so I didn't really know how to go about this for a then and now for movies for all three of us. But I guess a way to do it then versus now is, I guess, like what are some childhood movies and do they hold up?
Interesting.
So,
What do you mean?
like movies you saw in your teens,
Okay.
or even younger.
Before you guys were born?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah. I already made my one faux pas earlier. Yeah. That's not that old.
That's that old.
Or you don't look that old.
Gosh, you're ancient. You don't look like it.
But yeah. So movie. Any movies from when you were younger, do they hold up? Do they hold up now? And they don't have to be like the great blockbusters at the time. They can be whatever.
Okay.
I'll start since So a movie, it holds up well to me. I don't know how everyone else feels about this, but it was my favorite movie growing up, and I still enjoy it so much when I watch it now. And it's the BMX movie Rad.
Okay.
It's super cheesy. It's super corny.
1000%.
But I guess technically it doesn't really hold up. But I feel like it kind of does. Like,
do you feel like it still holds up, like out of nostalgia, like you enjoy watching it, or do you feel like if that movie were to come out today, kids would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a BMX."
I don't think anyone.
Because I have one of those movies.
Yeah. So I guess maybe it doesn't hold up, but I still love it, and I think it is a nostalgia thing. Because when I see it, I'm like, I'm in it.
Yeah.
My freaking fantasy baseball team is called Crew Jones and Crew Jones and Company, which has nothing to do with baseball at all.
No.
But I've had that name like since I started, so whatever.
Just a side note, I always wanted to do a fantasy team called like the Manila Folders. Yeah. Maybe within my office or something.
Dude, I like my fantasy hockey name. It's Ice Chanclas.
Nice. What about you? Childhood or...
I'm not mentioning any because yours are going to go, what? Was that a movie?
Well, it wasn't like Jaws.
I actually was not old enough to go and get into see Jaws.
Well,
and
see, kiddo,
me
see?
and Jackie
Look at you,
snuck in to get it.
little young whippersnapper.
See?
Actually, no, it wasn't Jackie. It was Carla. We went and snuck in and sort of. She asked how old I was, and I'm a crappy liar. And I'm like, I'm old. Well, no. So I had to have somebody else buy the ticket for me.
Nice.
So, but yeah, we snuck in and saw that. Actually, one movie that I was thinking about that I could probably recite it. Okay, no, don't laugh. Okay, St. Elmo's Fire. I love that movie.
That's a classic, though.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Why am I not thinking about
A bunch of kids on detention in the library, and you have your jock, your popular girl, your
Breakfast Club?
Breakfast Club. That's what it is.
I was like, you're explaining it, and I'm like,
That's not St. Elmo's Fire.
that's not St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, it really is Breakfast Club? Breakfast Club?
That's
Yeah, it is
Breakfast
a
Oh,
Club.
that's a good one.
I'm sitting here like,
That's not St. Elmo's Fire.
do I correct her on this, or do I
Yeah,
just
go
let
ahead,
the,
go ahead.
let the respect show?
No.
Breakfast Club was good.
Breakfast Club. I like Breakfast Club. That's fun. I don't know.
Do you think, does that hold up now?
I don't know.
I feel like it kind of holds up, but kids don't look like that anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Like the movie itself, I think holds up.
I think, high schools haven't changed. You still have the snotty people and the
Typing in movies that came out
So
in
ancient.
movies that came out when Renee was young.
When Renee was young.
so around that
They were still
time,
black and white at that point.
around that time,
Somebody was like
Yes. They were
rotating
standing
the
up-
projector, right?
Exactly.
we can do these are all like high rated movies that came out around that time. The Blue Lagoon,
Oh, I saw that one.
The
Okay.
Shining,
Saw that.
The Shining. Okay.
That's a good one.
Cannibal Holocaust.
See that one.
Dude, Caddyshack.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love
Okay,
Caddyshack.
holds up.
Holds up.
Blues Brothers.
Holds up.
I don't think I ever saw it.
I don't remember it.
It had Dan Aykroyd and was it Dan Aykroyd? I think it was.
Yeah.
And John Belushi.
Dude, Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm. Yep, saw it the first
Airplane.
Airplane.
Okay, so
Airplane's funny.
I feel all the movies back then for you, I feel like they all
What year
hold
did
up.
you put in?
Like, how old was I at this time?
After that.
Yeah. See, so
2 years after that.
yeah.
Because everybody's gonna be looking it up, going, okay, when did that movie come out? Okay, so that's how old she is. I've seen most of those.
Yeah. Don't research too hard on the years.
Yeah, don't overthink it. So I have two movies. One I know
don't
doesn't
care.
hold up, but it's like a very like nostalgic for me, which was Surf Ninjas. Do you remember Surf Ninjas? Did you ever watch Surf Ninjas?
No.
It was a very 90s movie about these kids who apparently were the heir to the throne of some kingdom, but they had been taken away and grew up in Santa Monica. I think it was Santa Monica. It has a young Rob Schneider in it, and basically they were, all of a sudden like they start getting attacked by all these ninjas. And so they have to fight off all these ninjas, and then they go reclaim their throne type thing. It's it's got Leslie Nielsen in it. He's the main villain. It's interesting.
Is he really?
Yeah. The other movie, I know that doesn't hold up, but it's got a place in my heart. The other movie that does hold up is Forrest Gump. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Never liked that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
How
Never
dare
liked
you?
that
Why?
movie. I don't
How
know.
dare you?
I don't know.
This is my household.
You have to leave
Why?
now?
Wait, no. Why? Why didn't you like Forrest Gump? You can be honest.
It was just too over the top. It was just, and I know it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. Maybe I was in a bad mood when I saw it the first time or something. I don't know.
I
just never really liked it.
I just love how like you put him in like all those iconic like video footage of like,
Yeah.
at the White House and things like that. And like how he just was the reason, like a lot of things, he's staying at the Watergate Hotel and he's like, there's people with flashlights. I think the power went out, like shit like that.
You know what though? I didn't like Forrest Gump until I watched it again, like later on. I think on tour.
I thought I was amongst friends.
No, I'm pretty sure we were on tour when I watched it, and I was just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again. I keep swearing I'm going to, and I haven't yet.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. I love that movie. Something about it as a kid, like I think because it was always on TV.
Yeah.
And I would always watch it, and then I just memorized literally the entire movie start to finish. It was just one of my favorites of all time. I think I still have a VHS of it somewhere. And now that we have a van with a VHS player in it, we can watch it. Okay, side note, E.T., right? Mm-hmm. So I was, this is going to tie into Mike Questions Everything, but there was this clip where they're talking about like, at CERN, they're colliding particles and things like that. And they think that may be the cause for some Mandela effect things. So now, do you guys remember in E.T. him saying E.T. phone home? Mm-hmm. Clearly, right? Like it said once, and he doesn't. It's E.T. home phone.
No, it's not.
Then they played the clip, and it's E.T. home phone. But
Somebody changed it.
I remember E.T. phone home.
Everyone remembers E.T. phone home.
Apparently, it's not. Apparently, it's always been E.T. home phone.
No, they changed it.
Mike Questions Everything.
What if
Season 1?
That's why they had to make technology move faster so that we get rid of our VHS. So we wouldn't have the
All of a sudden,
be able to look.
here's a DVD.
yeah.
I sent that to Karima. She's like, "What the heck?" Because they have, or she has ET on I think VHS. She's like, "I have it. We should watch it." I was like, "Okay, we got to do our research. We got to see if it's real or not."
Let me know when you guys do it because I want to see it.
You got to make a full report.
We'll do a thick boy time machine on that one. TBTM,
All right. Well, then that leads us nicely into our next